Hi students. So in our previous video we were talking about the first derivative test. Along with the first derivative test we talked about what is local maxima and local minima. And we also learned how we are going to find the local maxima and local minima by using the first derivative test, and we also discussed regarding the point of inflection as well as the geometrical idea about the first derivative test. So all these concepts were covered in our last video. So now let us move to the next concept of maxima and minima, that is the second derivative test. What is the second derivative test is talking about is, suppose if there is a given function, say f of x, let f of x be the given function which is defined upon any interval, say I. It is defined upon an interval, say I. So our step 1 is as usual. First we are differentiating the given function, that is f of x, and after differentiating that one we are equating that one is equal to 0. So when we equate f dash of x is equal to 0, we are used to get certain critical points. As I said while talking about the first derivative test, when we equate our f dash of x is equal to 0, what the value of we are going to get, that values are called as critical points. So we are going to get the critical points. Say suppose if I call those critical points say C1, C2 and C3, means we are going to get these as a critical points. In our first derivative test, what was our second step? We used to plot those critical point on the number line, right? So in the second derivative test, there is no need of plotting these critical points upon the number line. Now you clearly know that if you input the value of the C1 in the f dash, suppose what does this critical point is going to say, that is f dash of C1 is equal to 0, f dash of C2 is equal to 0, and f dash of C3 is also equal to 0. That is, if you got when you equate f dash of x is equal to 0, means at that time you are going to get these 3 points as a critical point. Means what it is going to say, if you input x is equal to C1, means in the f dash of x equation you are going to get the value is equal to 0. If you input C2, means you are going to get the value is equal to 0. Input C3 means you are going to get the value is equal to 0. So this idea you should need to get flashed out. So I just explained that one. So what is our second step here? This is our step 1. So what is our second step here is, now we need to differentiate again, that is we need to twice, I mean differentiating the f dash of x means we are going to get f double dash of x, or if you differentiate twice f of x means we are going to get f double dash of x. So after differentiating the f dash of x, when you get f double dash of x, now input the value of these critical points to this value. That is, if you input f double dash of what the value you are going to get f double dash of x as, if you input that in place of f, if you input the critical point, say if when you input the value of x is equal to C1 in f double dash of x equation, means if that value it is greater than 0, if that value is greater than 0 means then f of c is called, then f of c is called, now here C not, it is C1, f of c is called as what? Local minimum value. So f of c is called as local minimum value. Note that one, when f double dash of C1 it is greater than 0. Suppose this is our case 1. Suppose when you input the value of a critical point, suppose that value it is less than 0, means if when you input a critical point and that value is less than 0, means at that time at f of C2 this value is called as what? Local maximum value. That means you are going to get the minimum, I mean point of maxima, or this point C1 point is called as what? Point of minima, and here C2 point is called as what? Point of maxima. Okay, and what the value, when you input the value of C2 in the given function f of x, that point is called as local maximum value. What the point of minima you got, if you input that value in the given function f of x function, means what the value you are going to get, that point is called as local minimum value. Suppose this is our case 2. Case 3, what is that? Suppose when you input the critical points and you will get that value is equal to 0, means at that time our second derivative test, it is going to fail in this condition. When you input the value of critical point in f double dash or equation, even that one also equal to 0, means at that time second derivative test fails. Then again we are going back to first derivative test itself. So what we are going to do, going back to first derivative test means plotting that C3 upon the number line, checking towards the left of C1 whether the function is increasing or decreasing, towards the right also checking whether the function is increasing or decreasing, I mean whether f dash of x it is an positive or negative, increase or decreasing means that itself. So based upon these values you need to say at whether at C3 whether we are going to get local maxima or it is a local minima or it is a point of inflection. So this is you need to check by first derivative test itself when the second derivative test is going to be failed. So this is a description regarding the second derivative test. So you are going to understand this clearly when we are going to solve one of the question based upon the second derivative test. So here is the question where we are going to solve this question based upon the second derivative test. So the question is we need to find the local maxima and local minimum value, not maxima, local maximum value and local minimum value of a given function. So first thing is what? We need to differentiate this one. So differentiation, what we are going to get? 12x cube plus 12x square minus 12x. After that we are equating that one is equal to 0. So by equating this one is equal to, no sorry, here it is 24x. So by equating this one is equal to 0 means what? If I take 12 common outside, x cube plus x square minus 2x is equal to 0. So if I take x common means x square plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. So upon factorizing this x square plus x minus 2, what we are going to get, that is x minus 1 into x plus 2, this one is equal to 0. Now here we can say the values of x that is equal to 0, either x is equal to 1, x is equal to minus 2. What are these? All these are critical points. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to minus 2. So all these three are the critical points what we have got right now. So since we are doing the second derivative test, this is our step 1. Step 1, as I said, finding the f dash of x, equating that one is equal to 0 and getting the critical point. This is our step 1 what we have did here right now. Step 2. Now I am doing with the step 2 procedure. What is that? I am double differentiating. So f double dash of x. So what I am doing? I am differentiating this itself. What happens? This is nothing but 36x square plus 24x minus 24. This is our f double dash of x. So after double differentiating the given function, in the second derivative test, what is our step? We are going to input the values of critical point and checking the sign of f double dash of x. So when I input x is equal to 0 means what happens? This term is equal to 0, this term is equal to 0. We are going to get minus 24. So which is less than 0. So when f double dash of that critical point, what critical point we are input, if that one is less than 0 means what? 0 is what? 0 is a point of maxima. Point of maxima. So where maximum value is found at what? F of 0. So f of 0 will give us the maximum value. So what is that f of 0 is here, function is f of x is equal to 3x square plus 4x cube minus 12x square plus 12. If I input x is equal to 0 means these three terms are equal to 0. So f of 0 is equal to 0. So if this is a point of maxima or local point of maxima means this what happens for this is a local maximum value. Similarly, we need to check for other 2 points also. Similarly, when I input f double dash of x, in place of x if I input value is equal to 1 means what happens, 36 1 square is 1 plus 24 minus 24 which is equal to what, which is equal to 36 which is greater than 0 because 24 get cancelled. So what is 36 which is greater than 0? So when it is greater than 0 means what happens, 1 is a point of minima. So 1 is a point of minima means then local minimum value it is obtained at which point, f of 1. So f of 1 means what we used to do, we input the value of 1 in this f of x. So what happens, 3 into 1 power 4 is 1 itself, 3 plus 4 minus 12 plus 12. So 12 get cancels, 4 plus 3 which is equal to 7. So f of 1 it is equal to 7. So this is the local minimum value. So another point is there which is that x is equal to minus 2. So f double dash of minus 2. So where is the f double dash of x here? So input the value of x is equal to minus 2 here. So what we are going to get, upon substituting 36 into 4 plus 24 into minus 2 minus 24. So this value is obviously greater. So 34 into minus 2 means minus 8, 64. No, 4 2 8, 48 minus 24. Obviously this value is greater. So whatever the value, it is greater than 0. So when f double dash of x it is greater than 0 means what happens, minus 2 it is a point of minima. So point of minima means local minimum value. Local minimum value is found at which point, f of 2. F of 2 means substitute the value of 2 in this equation. You are going to get the value of f of 2. What is that? 3 into 2 power 4, that is 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8 to the 16 plus 4 into 8 minus, sorry it is minus 2, right? So here it becomes 16, here it becomes minus 8 minus 12 into 4 plus 12. So upon simplification of this one, you are going to get the value, that one is equal to minus 20. So this is the local minimum value. So what was the question? Find the local maximum and local minimum value. So local maximum value, local minimum value. They didn't ask what is local maxima or local minima. They asked local maximum value and local minimum value. So I'm telling you once again guys, please make a note or completely understand what is local maxima, what is local maximum value, what is local minima and what is local minimum value. So 0 is the point of maxima or local maxima, and f of 0 which is equal to 12, that is local maximum value. 1 is point of minima or local minima, and f of 1 which is equal to 7, that is a local minimum value. Minus 2 it is a point of minima or local minima, and f of minus 2 it is what, it is local minimum value. So this is how we are going to find the local maximum and minimum value using the second derivative test. So here is the another question where we need to find the local maxima and local minima. So first thing is what, we need to find our f dash of x. What is that f dash of x here? 6x square minus 12x plus 6. So this is our f dash of x. After that what, we are equating our f dash of x is equal to 0. This implies 6x square minus 12x plus 6 is equal to 0. So that implies if I take 6 common outside, x square minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is nothing but 6 into x minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. So this is what we got. So when x minus 1 whole square or x minus 1 is equal to 0 means we are going to get x is equal to 1 as what? critical point. This one is our critical point. Now, after getting the critical point, what is our next step? We are going to find f double dash of x. So f dash of x is 6x square minus 12x plus 6 means f double dash of x means what happens? 12x minus 12. So this is our f double dash of x, or you can write it as 12 taken common outside x minus 1. So now from the second step, what we are inputting the critical point in the f double dash of x. What happens at that time? 12 into 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. So we got f double dash of 1 is equal to 0, where 1 is the critical point. So here what? Second derivative test is failed. So when the second derivative test is failed, we are again going back to first derivative test. So what we are going to do? We are going to plot that 1 upon the number line and checking the sign of f dash of x on both the side, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Based upon that one, we are checking at 1 whether it is local whether 1 point, whether it is a local maxima or local minima, or it is a point of inflection. So what was our f dash of x? F dash of x was 6 into x minus 1 whole square. So taking the point towards the left of 1 is what point? If I can take any point from the left side means 0. So 0 minus 1 is minus 1 whole square. It is positive. So whatever the value here, it is positive. Sign of f dash of x is positive. Towards the right side, 2 minus 1, 1 square, again whatever the value, it is positive. So towards the left side and right side of the critical point, we are having the same sign. So when we are having the same sign means then that critical point is called as what? Point of inflection. So clearly this point 1, it is what? It is neither local maxima nor local minima. It is a point of inflection because here it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Or thus the point 1 is called as what? Point of inflection. So this is how we are going to deal when the second derivative test is failed. We are using again the first derivative test to check whether the function is having the local maxima or at that given critical point or local minima at given critical point. If not the both means then it is a point of inflection. So please pause the video and note it down. The next is absolute maxima and absolute minimum. So I have already explained regarding this one in my previous video. So again I am briefing it. Suppose if there is a function of say like this means, so obviously at this point, say if I call this one as C1 and this point as C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. So you can see here clearly at C1, at C3, C5 and C7. So at all these 4 points we are attaining what? We are attaining local, all 4 points are called as local maxima. Okay, and at all these 4 points we are what the value we are going to attain? All these points are called as what? That is f of C1, it is called as local maximum value. F of C2 is also called as local maximum value. F of C3 is also called as local maximum value, and f of not C3, C5, here it is C3, f of C7, this is called as local maximum value. So when I am talking about absolute maximum means out of these 4, which is the highest out of these 4, which is the maximum value. You can see here f of C1 means it is coming somewhere here, f of C3 means it is coming somewhere here, f of C3 it is also coming somewhere here, and f of C7 means it is coming somewhere here. So out of these 4, which is the maximum value? That is f of C1, it is having out of all these 4 local maximum value, f of C1 is the highest one. So that value f of C1 is called as what? Absolute maximum value. Similarly for absolute minimum value also. So clearly at C2, C4, C6. So at C2, C4 and C6, all these 3 points are called as what? All these 3 points are called as local minima. So at C2, what the point we are going to get? That is f of C2 f of c4, f of c6. So all these 3 points are called as what? Local minimum values, local minimum value and local minimum value. Suppose if we see the points, means out of these 3, which is the lowest one? Which is the lowest one? Here f of c6, this value is the lowest one, then f of c6 is called as absolute minimum value. So it is absolute maximum value. The local maximum value can become an absolute minimum value when it is the minimum value out of all the local minimum value within the given interval, means then that local minimum value will become the absolute minimum value. Similarly, out of all local maximum value, one local maximum value will become the absolute maximum value within the given interval if that local maximum value is the maximum among all the local maximum value, means then that value will become the absolute maximum value. So this is an idea regarding the absolute maximum and absolute minimum value. So there is one theorem which is going to state based upon the absolute maximum and absolute minimum value. Suppose if there is a function, say f of x, which is defined within the interval, say I say a comma b, then within that interval, that is from a to b, that f of x function will have at least one absolute maximum value, or it will have at least one absolute minimum value. Why it is saying means whatever might be the function, suppose if the function is say like this, means this value is a local minimum value, also the local maximum value is also this point. Since within the given interval a comma b we are having only one local maximum value, and that value will only become the absolute maximum value. Suppose within the interval a comma b, suppose we used to have like this type of graph, means we are having 3 local maximum value. Out of these 3, one value will become, obviously one value is an absolute maximum value. So this is what they are going to state the theorem without proof. The idea is within the given interval the function will have at least one absolute maximum value and at least one local absolute minimum value. The next is how we are going to find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum value of a function within the closed interval. Suppose there is a function f of x is equal to 2x cube minus 15x square plus 36x plus 1, which is defined on an interval 1 comma 5. So here the interval you can observe here, that is a closed interval. So how we are going to find the absolute maximum value and absolute minimum when they are not mentioning the local maxima or local minima, only giving maximum and minimum value, means that is nothing but the absolute maximum and absolute minimum itself. So here we are going to find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum value of a function in the closed interval. So how we are going to deal with it in the closed interval? So the steps you can see as it is, by using the our as usual steps what we used to follow in the second derivative test, that step follows as it is. So first I am finding the f dash of x. So what is that f dash of x? 6x square minus 30x plus 36. So this is our f dash of x. Suppose if I take 6 common outside, means x square minus 5x plus 6, and if I factorize this one, means I am going to get x minus 3 into x minus 2. So this is our f dash of x. Suppose if I equate this one is equal to 0, means I am going to get the value of x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 2. So these 2 points are what? These 2 points are our critical points. So after getting the critical points, I am taking the f double dash of x. What is that f double dash of x? 12x minus 30. This is our f double dash of x, and I am substituting the value of our critical points. That what happens? 12 into 3 minus 30. 12 3 is a 36 minus 30, it is 6, which is greater than 0. So when f double dash of x it is greater than 0, means what? 3, it is what? 3 point, it is the local minima. It is a local minima or a local minimum point of local minima. Okay, so what happens? F double dash of 2. So what happens? 12 into 2 minus 30. 12 2s are 24 minus 30. So 24 minus 30, it will become minus 6, which is less than 0. So at the point 2 we are going to get local maxima. The point 2 is called as local maxima. So it is clear from the second derivative test, that is what this point we got here, x is equal to 3. This point is a local minima, and x is equal to 2. This is our local maxima. But what we needed to find? We needed to find here maximum value, that is absolute maximum value and absolute minimum value. So when it comes to find the absolute maximum value and minimum value within the closed interval, means we are going to include, along with the critical points, we are going to include the extreme point, that is 1 and 2. That is, we are going to include the values x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, and x is equal to 5. So we are going to find the value of f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, and f of 5. Okay, so whatever the values we are going to get. So 1, substitute the x is equal to 1 in the given equation. So by inputting the value x is equal to 1 in this f of x, what we are going to get? 2 into 1 minus 15 into 1 plus 36 into 1 plus 1. Upon adding this, we are going to get f of 1 value is equal to 24. Similarly, by inputting the x value is equal to 2 in the given equation, what the value we are going to get? That value is equal to 29. Similarly, by inputting the value x is equal to 3 in the given equation, I am going to get value is equal to 28. Upon inputting the x is equal to 5, we are going to get the value is equal to 56. So you can see here the minimum value is attained at x is equal to 1, and maximum value is attained when x is equal to 5. Then f of 1, that is 24, it is the absolute minimum value, and this point is the absolute maximum value. So this point x is equal to 1, it becomes absolute maximum value. At x is equal to 1, f of 1 becomes the absolute maximum value. At x is equal to 5, f of 5 becomes the absolute minimum value. This is absolute maximum value. Then what about these two, f of 2 and f of 3? These are what? These are local. This is local minimum, not maximum value, and this one is local minimum value. The next question, you might think whether this absolute value becomes the local maximum or local minimum value. My answer, because when I am talking about the absolute maximum values during the graph, means as I said that, so the local maximum value will become the absolute maximum value. Now my question here, whether the absolute maximum value here, whether this becomes the local maximum value. So when we are talking about the local maximum value, means along the critical point, when I take this 2 has a critical point, means we used to consider a small interval near this 2 towards the left and towards the right. So when I am talking about here 5, means since it is a closed interval 1 comma 5, I can't take the interval towards the right side of the 5 to consider, to check whether it is the local maximum value. So there is no interval towards the right side of the 5, so we can't say this absolute maximum value has local maximum value. Similarly, for here also we cannot say this value has a local minimum value. Another question, you might think that since we are including the extreme points, it is clear that this value only will become the minimum value and this value only become the maximum value. It is not the same in all the cases. Here in this example, the extreme points only become the absolute maximum and minimum value. Certain time there might be the question where some of the critical point also going to become the absolute maximum or absolute minimum value. The next question you might think, since we are considering to check the absolute maximum and minimum value, we are considering only these points, that is we are bothered about what the critical point we got. Along with the critical point we are including the extreme points and finding the value. So based upon this value itself we are saying that this one is absolute minimum and this one is absolute maximum, means then what is the use of doing this one, whether this one is required or not. So this, if some people might stuck into this question also. So answer for that question is that what I am going to say is, suppose I am saying suppose here what 2 was our critical point, right? Suppose if we didn't check this one, means if this happens, means I'm saying the condition, that's itself. Suppose if f double dash of 2, this one is also equal to 0, means what happens, our second derivative test is failed and we need to check it for what, first derivative test. Suppose in the first derivative test both the side we used to get positive or negative, means then this point 2 became what, then this 2 became the point of inflection. Okay, so now this is the actual condition it is going to happen, means suppose if this is going to happen and we didn't check this condition at all, that is we didn't check f double dash of 2 is equal to 0, we didn't know this one and didn't check this concept at all. Here suppose if you didn't check this one, suppose if you got f of 2 is equal to 21 or somewhat whatever the maximum value, and you will declare that f of 2 value has, that one has an absolute maximum value or absolute minimum value, means then that will become wrong, because here by checking this one you got what, that 2 has a point of inflection. At the point of inflection you can't say that point has an absolute maximum or absolute minimum value. So that is the reason we are going to check the second derivative test, whether we are going to get the local maxima or local minima at those critical points. Suppose we are going to get local maxima and local minima, means there is no need to worry regarding this one. Suppose if we are not going to get local maxima or local minima at the critical point, if it is a point of inflection, if we didn't check this one and we didn't know if that point is a point of inflection, means, and without knowing that one, if you check this point and you got at that point has a maximum value and you declared that one as an absolute maxima or absolute minima value, means then it is going to become wrong. So regarding this idea is not explained in your NCERT textbook, but it might be helpful when it comes for certain competitive examination. So for that reason I have explained this concept also. So please make it note and note it down in your notebook. So please pause the video and note it down. So this is an idea regarding the absolute maxima and absolute minima as well as the second derivative test. Suppose if you have any doubts regarding this concept, means you can ask me at any time. There is still some part considering regarding the application of maxima and minima needed to be explained. I am going to explain that in the next part of the video. Thank you, students.